Three.
Stay behind the line. Stay
Fairly controversial week for the men in the centre. So Canberra running from left to right in front of a reasonable crowd here. And it is Blacklock who's playing at fullback tonight. And it's not a strange position to him. He fills in there quite often as Pearson is tackled on the first play just on the St George 20-metre line. Now it's with Simpson. And Robbie Simpson it is who plays the ball back for Bartram. Bartram then angling across and gets it 33 metres away from his own line. Young Cousteau, the dummy half, bound for Parramatta next year. And Pearson showing the way already. His second take-up in the first set of 6. An enormous night here for particularly St George. And to come into the game without 4 of those stars is going to call on a tremendous commitment from the players out there. Mullins now. Canberra's first use of the football, starting back on their own 20-metre line. This is Vainakolo. Youngster who represented New Zealand last year, under 19s, now Clyde. Stewart, incidentally, the third player only for Canberra to go past 200. And it would be one of mixed emotions for Stewart. He's ran out there tonight in front of a very good reception. There he is, getting rid of the ball at the end of the tackle count, and it's gone down for Blacklock, who should enjoy a permanent place back at fullback. It will give him more space and choose his own time to come in. And he is a very good returner of the kick. Is Rodwell. He'll scurry away 38 metres out from his own line. Was Canberra not without some chance of making the top 6 if something happens to go wrong with Sydney City? It is achievable, the top 6 for Canberra. And Pearson again, his third hit up of the game. And that's hurt him. Very slowly up for Corey Pearson, one of the game's tough men. Cousteau with a delicate kick marked by Mullins, who wasn't made to do a lot of work by the Cousteau kick. And he will play the ball now, Mullins, just inside his own 20-metre line. And McNamara, a little nervous juggle there with his first touch of the ball.
And one good early sign for St George has been the involvement of Wayne Bartram. A little bit down on his best form for a little while now, and it's important for St George tonight that he gets involved in both attack and defence. Already a couple of runs. Brandon Pearson taken strongly out wide. There's 2 of the back rows, Tracy and Bartram, who'll need big games tonight as Stewart. His second kick going towards the sideline will be taken by Blacklock.
He's certainly been in great form, Stewart, since the announcement was made that he and Canberra were parting company. And he's really left them with some, I suppose, haunting as well as daunting memories, particularly with his performances over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Here's Bartram now, almost to the halfway line for St George. Oh dear, that's a costly mistake from Darren Tracy, coughing up possession, and there's a bit of a dust up between Hetherington and Tracy that has quickly fizzled out. But Canberra now on the first tackle with Furner, about 8 metres from the halfway line. Wilford putting Clyde down the right of the ground. 20 metres in from touch, so it's a fairly wide blind side, and here's Wilford with another dummy half dart, takes him down to the 30-metre line, and then Hetherington puts it together with Brand. And Anthony Brand will be forced to play it 25 metres away from the St George line, to the left of the park. Through Stewart and away for Daly. Cutting back in as Pearson, running an angle with him as Kennedy, but the referee has found a forward pass. I thought for a moment he had found a high tackle on Kennedy, and just for a moment I thought, my goodness, that's a premature call.
It's one of Canberra's favourite plays. Normally you see Laurie Daly in the number 6. And it's hard to say if it was forward. The referee was 10 metres in front of that and deemed it forward. Kennedy wasn't happy with the decision.
It's very well read there by number 15 in Robbie Simpson. And that's what you've got to do well against Canberra. They love to turn the ball back inside. They get players in motion. Can't overread it in defence, but you've got to make sure that you keep very aware of what runners are involved. As Bartram, his 4th hit up, offloads to Mundine. Can't escape the clutches, but gets a ball away to Pearson. Oh, heavy hit from Wilford.
Corey Pearson's been very much in the wars in the Opening minutes of this game. Play near the halfway line. Played by Tracy. Mundine. Lofting a pass out that bounces a couple of times before reaching Murphy. Playing out on the right wing tonight in 17. They're just inside the 40 now. As Custo delivers across the park for Daniel Wagon. So Wagon pushes into the centres. With Coyne and Ainscough missing. Murphy comes up from the back to the wing. As this kick goes down the ground with a mistake from Mullins. Well, St George needed that. Mullins disputing it. Now he's indicating to the referee, that's okay, I'll cop it through.
Yeah, very high kick, and Brett Mullins never comfortable under it, was he? Struggled to reach the football, and no doubt it went forward. So a good chance for St George. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, no doubt about it. And some of these young kids like Custo are really getting stuck in.
Mundy. Blacklock. Beautifully grasped there by Pearson. 20-metre line. Players running decoys for Mundine. Custo. 15 away. Second tackle gone. Simpson to the right. And Pearson goes down the blind side. Clyde cuts him down. The ball came off Simpson, went forward. Canberra couldn't gain an advantage, so the scrum will pack, and it fizzled out for St George what was a golden opportunity.
Especially on the third tackle. Paul Pearson believing that there would be a support player on the inside, but no one there to take the pass, the one-handed. A couple of handling errors from both sides early in this match. George, good field position now. Ricky Stewart finds McNamara. Up a couple of metres before wrestled down by Barton.
Anthony Brand. I don't know who was responsible for it, but they put together a video tribute of this club, which they played to the fans here prior to the game. It was an excellent presentation. And the people that did put it together were watching, then congratulations. It was very professional. And it reminded us of the great success this young club has had, Canberra. Here's Hetherington now. And he's tried to slide a pass away, and it's gone to ground. Knock on against him. He's been asked to wear that number 8 since the release of Pongia and Lomax, and it's been a drastic, what's the word I'm looking for to describe a young man having to slot into the engine room as quickly as all of that. Especially with a couple of injuries, Ray. Struggled there. I think that the other front row, Anthony Brand's been an unsung hero as well. Hasn't popped many passes, but he's got an enormous work rate. When they need somebody to get the tough meters, he's normally the man, as Mundine. Long pass finds Pearson. I don't know how many times Pearson's taken the ball up, but it must be certainly up around 6 or 7. Now, oh my goodness, that was heavy. Luke Felch on the end of it. Ruben Wickie was the man that made the tackle. It was heavy. Mundine now drifting across the park as he loves to do, and Blacklock, he follows Mundine. Not a bad idea. Here's Mundine again. And again, the tackle around the legs was effective from Croker. The kick from Rodwell. It's high and across, and they're looking for Brunker. Brunker puts the bat down on, and Stewart is there waiting.
Ricky?
Players have gotten used to that rucking for the ball by the big flies, and it's not a bad idea to stay down and wait for the crumbs.
Well, they're playing with plenty of confidence, St George. It's a lot better performance tonight than last week. There's Stephen Clark calling out a couple of players, Ricky Stewart and Daniel Wagon.
Mate, you're going a couple of bordering line on high, mate. You get them down, okay? Okay, yeah, mate, and the rubbish down there, let's cut it out. Rick, we don't want that sort of stuff, okay? Don't take it into your own hands, just let it go.
Wagon, that's what he was spoken to about by the referee, Stephen Clark. A couple of times he's let an arm creep up a bit high. So Canberra approaching the halfway line. And this is Hetherington. They haven't played these two clubs for a couple of years now. In fact, I think it was in the quarterfinals in '96 when St George went on to play Manly in the grand final. and they beat Canberra, put them out of it 16-14. That was back in 1996. We tend to lose track of how long it's been since some of these clubs last met. Now, a beautiful ball, Croker for Kennedy. Kennedy with Blacklock to beat. Pearson comes up, and Pearson goes on to put the ball down. First try of the game. It was Jason Croker, Ben Kennedy, and Brandon Pearson. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, this is marvellous stuff. Canberra, one of the great sides to watch in the way they put their attack together, and it opened up beautifully for Kennedy. Made it a little bit harder than it should have been. He really only had to draw the fullback and put Pearson away. There was a hint of a forward pass, but the referee was in great position. But just have a look at the way this unfolds. Crosses it over, attracts a couple of defenders. Bartram kept going, and really Kennedy didn't have to try and beat the fullback. Only had to go to him and pass to Pearson. But in the end, the execution was good enough to get the try.
David Fenner. 25 in. And only 12 metres out for David. Close proximity, he converts the try. So Canberra have cracked St George at the 11th minute. A clap from Laurie Daly. It is 6-0, his team over St George. Our viewers across Tasman again tonight to our national capital. 6-0.
Stay behind the line, stay!
We welcome you back, and of course the sight there as we went to the break of Laurie Daly is probably the biggest talking point in rugby league as Canberra make this tremendous surge back into contention. Here's Kennedy now. The question being asked is, can they do it without Daly?
Well, I should apologise, Ray. At the head of the program, I said that this was just about the strongest side Canberra could name, and of course Laurie Daly would be there, the first player picked, but he's gone for the season as Croker again finds a bit of space.
Wolford and Stewart calling the shots. It came off the back of a St George player. He didn't play it. Rod will back for Blacklock, and he's put away on the 30-metre line. I did read during the week that he was still some chance of making it back in time for a grand final or something like that.
Well, I think that Canberra would be looking to get through without him. It would be a bonus if he did come back. Jason Croker, I think, is the perfect man to slot into that 5'8" position. As Paul pointed out, he's done the job in a number of positions. He's very experienced, so strong, and the perfect link man between the mobile forwards and the speedy backs.
Simpson played it, and Pearson running it up to the Canberra 40-metre line. Well, they started off enthusiastically, St George. There's been nothing wrong with what they've done, and that try from Canberra very hard to defend against. It was a beautiful pass by Croker. Vainacola.
Robert Hanare in 21 out there for St George. He's got the headgear on. First interchange for them as Brand looks to offload, gets tackled 20 out from his own line.
DeVico was also on for the green side. Clyde. I can recall they used to call them the green machine when they were at their very best. I'm just wondering whether that tag will be appropriate as we wear on into September. I think I've been guilty of using it a couple of times, but we might leave it until they really put their hand up. Stewart, a dummy as Rodwell hunted him back in, and Hanari came up in that headgear. Here's Wolford out from dummy half. Gee, they're blessed with a couple of very good dummy halves. Wolford, very hard to split them ability-wise. Blacklock galloping back towards the 20-metre line, taken by the kicker, Wolford. And then it was Lanahan who gave it away for Brunker. Murphy's over there, a dummy half. He's gone to the blind side. There's nobody out there with him. So it was obviously a solo run that he left on. And inside the 10, a penalty goes to St George.
Yeah, Peter, what do you make of David Waite's decision to, as the Canberra offside, to leave out 4 players? It's almost like he's, well, half-ply conceded this game and setting it up for a big match next Sunday against Parramatta at Cogra.
It will be a big game, that's for sure. I guess he's put a lot of eggs in one basket, but listening to Nathan Brown say that there was a chance that 2-3 players might miss not only next week, but the first semi-final, I guess didn't leave him a lot of choice. He'll be hoping that they can come up against the odds and get the 2 points here.
Yeah, look, I've got no drama with it because it's giving some kids a chance and some of the players like Bartram a chance to return to form without, you know, some of the better players there. So probably a good decision by David Wade.
Hanari it is that played it. Custo starting something down the right. A grubbing kick by Rodwell. I saw him go down late out of the corner of the eye, but it's been allowed to go. Mullins will play it 12 metres out from his own line. He looks up quizzically there at Clark, as if to say about the defence. Now, Ruben Wiki. Steve Roach is on the sideline.
Yeah, well, danger signs for the St George defence at the moment. They're having trouble putting the likes of Pearson, Wiki and Vanicalo on the ground.
Penalty now against St George. Hanare was the man offending for the red and whites. I mentioned that they are now very much in danger of losing that home game for the semi-final if they're in it. Just where they would play it if it was their honour. And now seems like it might be going to Wollongong. Stewart floats a beautiful pass. Pearson catching pass. Mullins for McNamara coming back in. And he's on the 20-metre line. Playing it back for Pearson, who's quite involved tonight. Stewart with a short ball for DeVico. And DeVico is 12 metres out from the line. Canberra mounting another attack. And Stewart across, showing it, dummies, and puts it behind Clyde. And then Ferner is there to be tackled on the 10-metre line. Players 20 metres in from touch on the grandstand side. They go down the right, down the blind side, a grubbing kick, and Blacklock read it well and is grasped in goal. Nice play by Canberra. If you don't come back with something on the scoreboard, to come back with the football must be the next best thing.
It's a very good test for Canberra tonight. They know they're up against a much weakened St George side, but they're not leaving anything in the tank. They're trying everything, and a good performance. Mel Meninga, their coach, would be very happy with the way they're playing.
About this ground. DeVico and the carry back. 30-metre line. Second play. Brown 25 metres out from the St George line. Stewart turning it back. Wilford waits over on the left of the ground. Mullins comes up the middle and he's put down on the 20-metre line. Colin Ward is now on for his first session for St George. Now Stewart. Cross for Ferner to go back and Kennedy to come out and then back in. And Bradley Clyde was there, 12 metres away from the St George line. They're putting it together, Canberra. They're looking very slick. And Stewart with a 20-metre pass, finding Croker. He went down on the knees to take it. And then from Brad. Stewart is over on the blind side now, gets a kick back. And the bounce is very, very important. It's a try! Ruben Wiki! Ruben Wiki has capitalised off this incredible kick by Ricky Stewart. And Stephen Clark, I think, wants to see whether Wiki was in front of Stewart or not. But whatever the outcome, this man's ability to control the football off the boot is just incredible.
A deliberate kick here from Ricky Stewart. Back, I thought the number 10, Luke Phelps, could have done something to get towards the ball. He kicks now, he frees it there. I'm pretty sure that these are the chasers. The inside man being the try scorer. That looks okay, although difficult to pick up, but there's not much in it. And as we freeze it again, I really think that this St George player here had a play on the ball. That's Luke Phelps, but it bounces. Oh, in fact, no, I've got the try scorer wrong. He's come from a much wider position. Ruben Wiki. He's come from way right.
Yeah, it looks fine to me, Pete. And it's a planned move. We've seen Stewart do that mainly for Brett Mullins in the past. You find this would be a try, and Well, Canberra fans will be happy, but I'll tell you what, Canterbury fans will be even happier because they'll be getting plenty of that next year as Ricky Stewart lines up in the number 7 jumper for the Bulldogs.
Okay, that's Ricky there. He's the man. He's back on the 20-metre line. That's fine. Kick comes. He's still behind. Ball onside, no problems.
Can't imagine why the lengthy delay. To be honest with you, unless Stephen Clark was looking for something else.
Well, there's a slight question mark as to whether the fullback was taken out. He was grabbed and pulled to the ground. I mean, maybe he's looking at that.
It's a great effort from Ruben Wiki to come from where he did. Mundine and Luke Phelps were much closer to where the ball landed, and he's put all the effort in. Okay, let's have a look at the fullback. I think the number 4's onside. There's no problem there. The try score is okay. Let's just see if there's any interference on Blacklock. As he chases the football, Kennedy come towards him. Arm goes out. And he does push him away.
The video referee has given the try. So that's put that to bed. Finally. And I don't think Blacklock, no matter what happened between Kennedy, well, here's this little push and shove. I think Wiki was always going to win it. So the try is converted by David Furner. That's 2 converted tries to Canberra. At the 19th minute, they lead 12-0. Already the signs are there that St George are in for a very busy night. Somehow they're going to have to try and contain Canberra, who are playing flashy football. They're playing like the Canberra of old. Confidence high, making the ball do the work, long passes, plenty of people in motion. And they are looking very good. Here's Furner now, and Wolford following the international second rower down the park. To be tackled on the halfway line, Furner's there for dummy half work, and then Stewart switches it back. Clyde was there, puts a fend up on Tracy, but Wagon's there, and between them they pull him down. 45 metres away, Stewart putting the right foot kick in, a stabbing kick. It brings Blacklock off his own 10-metre line. Brunker is pulled down by Stewart. Number 200 tonight, Ricky Stewart, just repeating, they've really centred the night around Ricky Stewart's 200th first-grade game and becomes the 3rd only player to go past 2 centuries. Heavy hit on Murphy. Steve Walters, of course, and Chris O'Sullivan, the other 2. He was a good footballer for them, O'Sullivan, wasn't he? This is Ward. Time in possession, favouring Canberra. Pass from Bartram to Hanari looked a little bit dubious. Now Custo. Long pass, finding Rodwell. Rodwell's kick bouncing down on the 20-metre line. Mullins. Just outside the 30.
Probably more so than any kicker in general play in the competition. Matthew Rodwell is very aware of the 40-20 rule. We saw it in evidence last weekend. He was successful with one and very close on a couple of other occasions. That time he kicked from 39 metres out from his own line. He's aware of the importance of maybe picking up an extra set of 6 at the other end through that. As a good ball from Hetherington.
Wasn't it ever? Furner giving it on. Croker draws the defence. Now Pearson coming in field. And it's pulled down about 25 metres out from the St George line. Playing it back to McNamara. And then Furner. Trying to sprint as he reaches the defence and goes down in the tackle 20 metres out. Wolford, Stewart shows it beautifully. Then Clyde, a dummy on the inside, gives it to another inside runner in Vainicolo. Hard to stop from anywhere, but particularly close to the line. He'll play it on fire. Wolford looking at Stewart. Where's he want it? He's on the blind. He puts the kick up. The player chasing is Mullins from an onside position, but Blacklock winning the jump. Mullins never really got a clean shot at it, as Brunker brings it away. The line just in front of him. his own end of the pass. Colin Wood hit by Hetherington up the top. Ferner underneath. That was a beautiful pass. Priddis about to come on. There was a beautiful pass that generated that last Canberra attack from Hetherington.
He's in some trouble here, Colin Ward. He got hit very hard in that tackle. Two Canberra players combining. It was Hetherington coming over the top, and some concern for the big front rower. It was the number 8 who did the damage. Ferner going in low and Hetherington finishing over the top.
Colin Wood has got a problem, and that shot, I wouldn't mind seeing it again if we can, the shot from Hetherington.
Well, it's Tanga Tatoa coming to the sideline, so imagine Ward taken off there. You can see a bit of blood around the nose. It does appear as though it's more a shoulder shot. Yeah, that's... Jeez. I think he's got him with his shoulder rail.
This will show it. So close to the upper arm rather than the shoulder.
That's fine, Revy.
Okay.
Just bad luck for Colin. Not looking real flash.
You can run with that if you like. I think there might be some more said about it. Bartram to the 30-metre line. Tracy. Clinton is on. Rodwell from inside the 40. Getting his kick in, nevertheless. McNamara. Met by Hanaru. Good tackle by him. Some assistance from Mundy. DeVico. They've had some problems, as Peter pointed out earlier when I was talking about Hetherington. Not only did they lose Pongia and Lomax, but they've had problems with DeVico, they've had problems with Wesley, and I still might have forgotten another one. But up front, Canberra's been in awful trouble this year.
Well, they've got a great recruitment campaign down here. They talk about Brisbane, the success of bringing their players through. Canberra have done a marvellous job in that area as well. Prime example there, the number 15, Luke Priddis. Hetherington again takes it forward. Just having a look through the importance of getting a home semi-final. 10 times Canberra have played. They did have one in the country, of course. They've won 8 times here at Bruce out of the 10, whereas St George, as Wiki throws the ball inside the Vayner-Colo, they've only won 3 away. They've won 8 at home, so it's an enormous advantage to be playing on your home turf.
Play by Vayner-Colo. Wiki back towards the centre of the ground. McClendon, Clyde, they combine with Ferner. Ferner is put away. 8 metres out from the St George line. It's been crossed twice by Canberra, both times converted. 12-0. Stewart waiting for the player to come off the hip. It was Kennedy. And tackle 5 is with us now. Priddis puts a little kick in, basically kicking for himself. The support players weren't ready for it. They've made it look better than it was. And it'll be a line dropout that will see Canberra get it back at the 25th minute.
And Ray, you spoke about Canberra having great dummy halves. Another example there. If it's not Wolford putting in little grubbers, it's Priddis. They're both very, very skillful, and Blacklock a good effort there. Nearly got back into the field of play.
Lovely. Bouncing on the 30-metre line, so they're going to come back with their first tackle just outside the 20 with DeVico. And that pass from Priddis to Hetherington, it must have been very close to a call from the touch judge. On the 20-metre line now. The second play, and it's with McClendon. Mullins up from fullback, a dummy half. And offloading for Priddis to drop it, make a knock-on of it. And he knows it. Spoils what was an opportunity for Canberra to go further in front. Just a little bit of enthusiasm taking over from wisdom there from Luke Priddis. But they are beautifully served, aren't they, for acting halfbacks. Priddis has already worn a rep jumper in Super League, and I don't think he's any better than Wolford.
Spine yourself, bring it in there. Come on, steady. Keep it in there, Ben Kennedy.
They do make the big end of season matches. I'm talking about ones really late in September. Brave man to say they can't go all the way. Murphy, Custo, and Bartram. Mundine, but they're going nowhere, St George. Canberra. We've seen a lot of attack from them. We haven't seen a lot of defence, but they're keen there as well. Wagon hit by Ricky. When you're hit by Ricky, you know it. Tracy offloaded. Pearson taking it across and trying to put Mundine for the gap. Got a hefty load out there tonight, Corey Pearson. It's up to him to get something moving. Support in the actual offload area. He's got a lot of runners, miles of runners, but not too many that can actually hit the line and put a ball on your chest. Colin Ward heavily concussed. It's no worse than that, Steve, is it?
Good news is, Ray, that he's back on the bench now, so he should take part further in the game. Good
on you, big fella. Yeah, I hope he's okay. Colin looks okay, doesn't he? And it might not go any further, but I just thought it probably needs to be looked at again. Here's Prittis. Beating Felch eventually. Felch was hanging on, but Prittis won the day. Stewart lobbing it down into the corner and finding the line.
They're just doing everything right, aren't they, Canberra? A few mistakes. They spin the ball wide when the opportunity presents itself, take the easy metres up the middle. Great run here from Prittis. See the number 10 get stepped. Valiant effort to try and regather him, but the leg drive from Prittis was too strong. And then at the end, Ricky Stewart, with deadly precision, just picks up another 20 metres.
Ground looking beautiful here in Canberra. The grass that was laid has started to mat, I think is the word. It's taken, and it's going to be a lovely stadium when it's finished. And that's not too far away. Pearson. Tracy coming down the line side. Custo. Brunker hitting it at full gallop, and Brand was there, and so was Kennedy, and so was Ferner. So no shortage of numbers in defence. Mundine offloading for Rodwell, and then behind Lenihan, and it's been picked up and put on the boot immediately by Blacklock. Very quick thinking by him. Now Clyde, cross for Ferner to straighten it up. 35 metres out from the Canberra line they are. They haven't been down in their own territory very much. In fact, it's almost been unused, the territory that is behind them now. Dummy by Ferner, by Stewart going for a run, and then the offload goes over the shoulder of Vainacola. So at the 30th minute, Canberra still by 2 converted tries.
Lovely play from Ricky Stewart. A nice dummy, little change of pace, got through the gap, poor attempt at tackle, then look at that, it's a basketball type pass. And Vainacola, if he catches that, I reckon he's over in the corner and around the sticks, or over there somewhere for another try.
Yes, put it down over there somewhere.
Yeah, anywhere it'll do.
Doesn't matter where you put it.
Just over that white thing down there.
St George winning the scrum. It sees Mundine pushing out wider for that scrum. Definitely out in the centres. Murphy losing it, and it's been raked out. And a penalty goes to St George. So the Dragons with a chance now.
They need something to lift themselves, St George, and obviously the best would be points now. Tend to go to half-time if they can get over. Just going through the motions a little bit at the moment. They're not threatening. This has been the best chance for ages. Matthew Rodwell on the short side. Well taken by Tracy. It was a tough catch.
Ferner making the tackle. Now Felch hitting it up inside the 10-metre line. In fact, very close, about 6 metres away. Mundine back in for Pearson, and then out for Mundine. Mundine gets it away. They're over the line. That's Tankatatoa. Andrew Tangata gets the first points for St George, and there's the general, Mundine. He put it together, he was the architect. He did get some help here.
He handles it twice. Corey Pearson did a great job to offload there despite the attention of two defenders. And that's a great pass as he's falling to Tangata, adjacent to the post. It was always going back to Corey Pearson. It was a planned move. The fact that Pearson was able to offload, despite the fact that Brand was handling him up high, the second phase play got the man over the line.
Yeah, the first pass to Pearson was telegraphed somewhat, and he was well held, but a magnificent effort by Pearson. He's, if I'm right, I think it's the first time he's been captain of St George. A sterling effort from him tonight, and Tangata just simply ran hard and straight onto the beautiful pass from Mundine, and so Saints are back into it.
As was the case with Canberra's first try, almost impossible to defend against that. Bartram from close proximity gets an extra 2. So Canberra 12, St George 6 at the 31st minute. Points the difference. (12-6). 2 tries to 1. Canberra very much been in the ascendancy here, and just when they needed something to happen for them, St George, it came at the 30th minute. Felch 23 metres away from his own line. Now Pearson. 3-man tackle, putting him away. He's really, and I said this earlier, he's really carrying a big load here tonight, and he's doing a very good job. Here's Tangata now.
Yeah, I was probably a bit harsh with my choice of words, saying St George were going through the motions in this game. That's not right.
Here's a big run. Peter Bartram has strolled into open space. Pulled down just inside the 30 on the 5th tackle. Mundine. Pearson to the 20. Getting it back, looking for support. It came via Murphy. Murphy gets a pass away. That was touched by Canberra. I don't think Clark has seen it. Well, all of St George saw it.
He did see it, and he called not played at by the Canberra man.
Okay.
And that was an impressive set of 6 there, wasn't it? Bartram, who started the game strongly, then drifted out. A big run up the middle, and here's a penalty against the team in possession. Brandon Pearson holding the jumper of a St George player.
Well, it's right in front, Pete. What do? Shot for goal, maybe?
I think you take the 2.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Holding the jumper to get up. No, not much in that.
But it's a good decision, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I suppose so.
Doesn't sound all that impressed, though, does he?
Well, I don't know. It's just nothing from mine.
Well, I just think
holds up the game.
Well, that's exactly. But that's what the man on the ground is trying to do as well. He's trying to milk a penalty. In most cases, it'll be the St George player who's penalised, but he's trying to get up. But I do agree, there's not much to it.
Absolutely nothing to it.
St George haven't been going through the motions. They've been doing their best, but not much has been happening for them. But since the points have been scored, confidence has lifted. All of a sudden they might be within 4.
That Wayne Bartram run there, Peter, reminded me, Ray was talking about the 1996 semi-finals. I think it was against Canberra that didn't Bartram score a magnificent 40, 50-metre try?
Yeah, at the Sydney Football Stadium he scored one of the best you'll ever see. An individual one, put a step on, sliced around, ran something like 50, 60 metres.
It reminded me of yourself, actually. Sort of.
Yeah, good too.
So from 30 metres, Bartram right in front. 6 points down, has struck it well, and it's online. So the margin is back from 12 to 4 now, almost in a split second. At the 30th minute, they put a converted try together, and at the 35th minute, they have landed a penalty goal. And Bartram immediately is brought off to the bench. This was the run by Wayne. It was a magnificent run. He found Canberra lacking in defence. They failed to fill the gaps. And so a match that, I must admit, at 12-0, I thought, hello, we might need a cricket statistician here, because it was looking dreadful. But St George have suddenly got themselves back to respectability. Mundy playing it back on his own 20-metre line. A match that, from St George's point of view, has been highly controversial, with sports tab people suspending betting on the game when they learnt that at least 3 of St George's stars would not play. But I don't know how you're ever going to fix that problem. Here's Mundy, stepping off the left foot, making a long run, an ankle-tapping tackle. The pass has gone forward. And Clark says play on for Ruben Wiki.
What a player. Anthony Mundine, a super-duper break there. Should have resulted in a try, as Canberra desperate now to get out of their own 10-metre area. Look at this man, what a player. That's a super pass. He was nearly forward, but then a strong tackle, and it's poor ball security. He's trying to offload in an impossible situation. That's the same problem St George had last week. Was a lack of patience with the football, and now it's been compounded with another penalty going to Canberra.
Pearson disgusted, not at the call by the referee, just a bit disappointed at himself, really, giving a penalty.
I don't know, I think he's not real happy with the referee.
Matter of fact, I think I might change that comment too.
And I think the pass was a touch forward from Mundine as well.
To the halfway now, and almost to the halfway in time. Wolford has opened them up to the 30-metre line. David Atkins is on for Canberra. Jumper 16. Stewart, McClendon. Keen eye on the youngster from Tangatoa. Stewart back inside for Kennedy, who dwells there. He really is going to miss Ricky Stewart. Ben Kennedy. Here's Hetherington offloading. McClendon into the action and shows it, then runs around and puts McNamara down the sideline. Oh, this youngster, he has put on a Houdini on St George. And a beautiful try from McNamara, who only had to catch and run.
Always an air of excitement, isn't there, when McClendon comes into the game. Wolford, a very clever dart, just like we saw from Wayne Bartram. He actually hurt himself in the tackle. He's got a problem. But just have a look at the move he puts on out wide. There's no problems for St George at the moment. McClendon goes across as he frees it here. Just have a look at this man, the number 18, Lenihan, completely fooled by the ball run, who continues on. And as Pearson comes back inside, Lenihan, he realises that the bird has flown, creates something out of nothing, a simple run for McNamara. And McClendon, just with a bit of sleight of hand and great speed, bamboozles the number 18 here.
He's a good young kid, this boy. Some poor St George defence, no doubt about it. They once again offered that 10-metre zone down the side of the field for them to run at, and they took full advantage of it. Pleasure to watch.
They invite teams to come down there, don't they? I mean, you can play compressed defence, call it what you like, but you've got to slide, you've got to mark up.
And another big rap for Brandon Pearson there too. Just his inside run was instrumental in the try. Oh, and is he not? No, he's just...
No, just offline. So it's Canberra striking back immediately. 16 points to 8, and a touch of magic from the number 17, Steve.
The skill of Ricky Stewart McClendon has, but he's got a little bit more speed to get on the outside. That's beautiful sleight of hand. He draws 2-on-1, and he won't get any easier than that, McNamara.
Pearson was the man that ran the decoy, something that probably goes unnoticed when it comes to statistics and work rate. Pearson was the man that took a lot of the heat away from McClendon by a simple decoy run. Fantastic. Taking us into what would be the last few seconds of the first half. And it is Mullins carrying it back, dummy in, and still going to 25 metres out from his own line, where he is grasped, and that's the end of the first half. It's into the second half with St George trailing 16-8. And Hetherington, with this very aggressive run, carries it back to the 20-metre line for Croker to go down the left of the ground. Bovington loading, and it's now with Davika. Somebody delights in blowing a whistle here at Bruce Stadium. I wish they'd stick it, you know where. It drives you mad. You're always trying to, you're always thinking to yourself, oh, what's this penalty for?
Just wondering, second look here is... No, I don't... Well, yeah, I don't know whether it was a knock on. He put it down on the ground, but it looked like he sort of, the ball came back up with his hand, and he did drop it, so it might have been a slight knock on.
So St. George with Mundine leaving his mark on this game yet again, down to the 20-metre line. Mullins missed him, and eventually the tackle was made by Vainikolo. St. George brewing now from Rodwell. Pass that was bad for him. Back to Pearson. Still 10 metres from the line. Centre of the park. Custo for Mundy. Started it. Thought he might have been about to finish it. Comes to the line, Canberra. Under pressure, very early. Pearson, he'll score, Rodwell. Oh, that is beautiful from the big front row forward. Corey Pearson. Where did you learn that? 16-12.
Well, have a look at this kid. He's a rare talent, isn't he? Too much speed for Croker, put the fend out. Mullins might have missed the tackle, but he saved a try because he slowed him down enough for Vainikolo to come and clean up. And Corey Pearson, it's great skill. Front rower going to the line, puts it through. He's a good metre on side, Matthew Rodwell. Didn't panic, got a good bounce. And St. George, a tremendous start to the second half. Again, inspired by their number 6. Finished off by their number 7, and in between their number 8 came up with a marvellous piece of skill.
Yes, Corey Pearson, he's been to the Steve Roach School of Grubber Kicks, so great piece of skill there from Pearson.
What a magnificent start for St. George in the second half, and Bartram makes no mistakes. 16 points to 14. A rare skill from a front rower, Stephen.
Oh, sensational skills. Peter Tunks was the last man to actually do this. Great grubber kick through there from Pearson, and well supported there by Matthew Rodwell for the try for St. George to put him straight back in this match.
Oh, gee, I tell you what, you've pulled that one out of the archives. Peter Tunks.
Actually, Locker, he used to put him through and regather himself and score the try himself. He didn't need outside support.
Well, that's just the start David Waite needed. It's been suggested that they've rested players out of this game. In other words, they've almost forfeited the game, but looking at the scoreboard, looking at the performance, nothing could be further from the truth. Steve Roach again.
Yeah, I'll do Canberra first. Mal Meninga was very happy with the first half. He said we control it well, ward them down well. Let's finish Saints off. Saints are still dangerous. One mistake and they showed what they could do. They scored in that first half, so he wants his team to concentrate for the full 80 minutes. I've got Nathan Brown down on the sideline with me for St. George. That'll give you guys a heap of confidence after that first half performance.
Yeah, it was great. Wadey said he was very impressed with our attack and defence. He just said we've got to pay a bit more attention to Ricky Stewart. And one or two lapses sort of cost us dearly, so just to concentrate for the whole 40.
Yeah, it seemed to me, Nathan, they had problems putting the big men on the ground. There was plenty of offloads and change of direction for the Canberra side in the first half. Did he speak about that at half-time?
Yeah, he sort of put it down to a couple of lapses more so than anything. Our defence probably didn't read it too well on Kennedy there once or twice, and on McLinden, the boys just didn't move up and took the dummy. So other than that, he thought we were going really well.
Well, Nathan, you're back in it. Good luck in the second half, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bugger.
Steve Roach on the sideline with Nathan Brown, one of the injured players. Kennedy making another break for Canberra. Off his knees, got it away for Croker. Croker 25 metres out from the St. George line. Stewart, Daviko, an inside ball and tackle put away heavily, 12 metres out from the St. George line, and Luke Daviko is injured, unable to play it. He went down awkwardly too.
There's a hit of a dusty tackle here, I think, from Wayne Bartram. And the referee belatedly is calling out Bartram. He wasn't going to do anything about it, but the injured player is still down.
Okay, mate. The tackle, you pick him up, and there was a late shovel into the ground. All right, you can't pick him and turn him into the ground. All right, and I'll put on report. Okay, it's dangerous stuff. All right.
worse on replay than it did in actuality. I've got to say that. Very dusty.
Wasn't helped by the fact that Simpson was over the top and dragging him down as well. And just on Simpson, a great tackle he pulled off after the Canberra break there. A minute ago on Croker it was. Crack.
We'll take a break and come back and update the health of Luke DeVico. And we'll do that in just a moment. 16-14 Canberra. So attention being dispensed now to Luke DeVico. Gee, he did fall very awkwardly, but there's no hint there of any spinal damage. They wouldn't be moving him around like that if there was.
Yeah, that's a great sign, isn't it, that he can actually sit up. They would obviously be handling him with kid gloves if they thought that there was a problem. They certainly wouldn't be sitting him up like that. Beautiful pass from Ricky Stewart. He read that Lee Murphy was coming infield, and you'll see the tackle that Paul's talking about shortly. Robbie Simpson on Jason Croker. And then Simpson again involved. You just can't understand why players still put their arms between the legs and drive.
So it's gone on report. It was another example, the bust I'm talking about, it was another example of St George playing this compressed defence, but I don't know that they slide or mark up as quickly as they should. They seem to invite these busts. That's the best sight we're going to see in Canberra tonight. 16-14 Canberra over St George. DeVico on his feet, walking from the field unaided. Very good. Penalties since been given. I must admit at the time I didn't think Stephen Clark was going to say anything. I think Paul described it as a late call.
No, he wasn't, Ray. He was back on the try line, getting players back on side.
Firma has kicked plenty of goals here. Not too many simpler than this one. 22 metres in and about 15 back. He doesn't bring it back very far these days, David Furman. He gets the 2 points. Just gives him a little bit more of a cushion. 18-14, 5 minutes of the second half gone.
But there's no doubt that the tackle wasn't helped by the fact that Robbie Simpson was twisting that man there. Wayne Bartram, he's still got his arm between the legs of the man and drove, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem, you would think. That's tremendous that they were able to walk off with Luke DeVico. Despite the fact he might play any further role in this match, which looks like he'll be okay.
Just looking at Laurie Daly, he's not contemplating a career in politics as well as he. He's really dressed up tonight. Kennedy. 35 away from the Canberra line. Strange game, this one. Canberra seems to build a lead and then switch off. St George come back, snap at their heels. Canberra then skips away from them again.
Yeah, look, I don't think we should say that they've almost forfeited this match by resting or not playing players who are injured, etc. That's doing a disservice to some of the St George players out there, especially the replacement players. Now they'll believe that they get into this game with a side capable of winning it, despite the fact 4 of their stars are missing. Ricky Stewart again, he's done that a couple of times tonight, finding touch with only a metre or half a metre to spare.
I think the point we were trying to make earlier, Peter, is this, that those players who pulled out tonight probably at a pinch could have played, but with a week's rest, they'll be all the better for it in the big game next week against Parramatta, which you'll see here on Channel 9 next Sunday week. Now penalty goes to St George.
He's penalised Bradley Clyde there for breaking from the scrum too early. From Penrith Football Stadium at half-time, it was close. Penrith led by 2, 16-14 over South Sydney. The revitalised South Sydney. This is Murphy. He's 45 metres out from the Canberra line. Can St George grabbed the lead for the first time. Chance coming up for them on the end of this. Pearson, put down by Bran and Ferner. Custo waiting, then delivering. Mundine, he's beaten them. And Mundine got it away from Rodwell, and then Wagon. I was going to say he's beaten them a couple of times, point blank. Then Tracy. Now Custo, left foot kick. It's not all that good, it's gone backwards. Then the knockdown. Canberra with McNamara taking it in goal, but it's been deflected forward by St George, so the turnover will happen 9 metres back into the field of play.
Yeah, it was a poor kick there from Ben Custo. They built up some pressure. Two marvellous pieces of play in the previous ruck. The pass from Matthew Rodwell to Wagon was a beauty, and the tackle by Brad Clyde in cover was outstanding. And the pressure further released here. George penalised. That's copybook stuff from the 13.
That's Johnny Raper type stuff, isn't it? Now he's kicking for touch. It's nothing he can't do. Bradley Clyde.
6-4 the penalties to the Raiders. Steve, what's the news on Luke DeVico?
Yeah, it's a right shoulder problem. He's got pins and needles, but the doctor has checked him out and seems to think that he'll be fit to resume play if needed.
Hetherington with another little touch of magic. I thought DeVico might have had a shoulder reconstruction, or was it a knee? Kept him out of the game for quite some time last season, I think it was. Here's Kennedy doing well. McNamara tries to capitalise down to the 20-metre line. Desperately pulled down there by the St George defence. Stewart, long pass on the second bounce. It's arrived for Ferner. Ferner then with Mundine hanging on. So is Wagon. And they're on the 20-metre line. Canberra leading by 4. Ferner appealing to the referee. Clyde angling away, running it at Rodwell. Pearson helping the number 7. Then it's Priddis with one dummy and a flick pass, finding Kennedy again. He's starting to find some of that form that he laid on early in his career. Long pass, knocked on by McClendon, knocked on by Mundine. It will be a St George feed and loose head. In fact, it's the end of the tackle count, so the turnover with Daniel Wagon. And McClendon trying to clean up the damage that he has done. 16-14, Penrith over South at half-time. As Felch spins away from one, loses it in a one-man tackle the second time. It went forward, pulled out by Canberra. He'll rule a knock-on and put a scrum together.
He must have been close to being offside there, Brett Hetherington. Let's have a look here. The number 10, the ball raked out by McClendon, and I think that the number 8's offside. I think it should have been a penalty to St George, who swapped, or they did swap Murphy and Blacklock around again for a while. Lee Murphy was back behind his team and Blacklock out on his wing.
Wagon. Fairly evenly shared around the time in opposition half in the second, in the early part of the second half we are now. 24-22. St George with the better of it. Murphy. Now Mundine. So one of the Canberra markers wanted to go on with a dispute in back play. It was Mundine that made some ground. And now the ball finds Wagon out in the centres. He's pulled down on the 40-metre line by Clyde. Rodwell. Putting it high. Mullins was going back, then had to come forward. Then he lost it completely. Chance for the Dragons! And an appeal by Lenihan, but the referee has ordered that it went forward. And it's a turnover for Canberra.
Well, that's twice now that St George have put up very high bombs, and Mullins has had no idea what to do. And the knock-on seen there by Lenihan, Steve Clark picked it up.
Oh, Brett Mullins.
Not having a great night, he's just hundreds to get anywhere near it.
Clyde. Wiki. Stewart providing for Kennedy. And then the inside pass for Pearson again. And is that DeVico? And now it is with Kennedy. DeVico's made a rapid recovery. Stewart. Mullins putting himself into the game. Something I wish he would do a bit more of, actually. He hasn't got a greater fan. Stewart, that kick, and Wiki is offside. They go on and score. But I'll be surprised if Stephen Clark doesn't rule that Ruben Wiki was within 10 metres of the player playing at the football and never left it.
Well, the referee's saying that he wants to have a look at the offside. Vainikolo is the try scorer. And he's mentioned Ruben Wiki, so if you're right, Ray, then the referee is going to pick this one up. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's offside for sure, no try. He does get involved within the 10. Despite the fact that he doesn't claim brunk up and get to the football, he's still offside.
He had no right to be there, and the player that actually went on to score the try, he can't put him onside. The only man that can put him onside is Ricky Stewart. I just stopped calling because I thought he would just automatically blow the game up and give a penalty.
Tell you what, there's a bit of doubt on the winger too, Vainikolo.
I think they're both offside, so it should be no try. The fact that Stewart sort of double pumped before he kicked it, he held it up for a couple of seconds, and the other boys just kept running out wide in support. So it's an interesting one for the video referee tonight.
So it hasn't been denied yet, and there's the red light. Well, hang on a second, what's all that? Red, green. What is going on here?
That's going.
Now he's put up the green. There's what happened. I mean, I can't tell you. He obviously just pressed the wrong button, and then he's gone for the green. Now he's got them both. Then he's come back for another one, and he's got the green. So.
Well, it was obviously a technical problem, and the news that we're receiving is that the video ref always believed it was a try, made the decision, but for mine, the number 4 means that it wasn't a try. He was inside, he was offside.
Video referee tonight, John Yard. One of your best, Jono.
So David Ferner from the T-bar. Just hope that that doesn't come back to be a contributing factor in the final wash-up. Oh, that's a magnificent kick. Try or no try, David Ferner. 24 points to 14 after 53 minutes. George starting it again. It was Mullins. Interesting to see the effect that might have had on St George, because they haven't been privy to what we've been privy to either.
It's got to have an enormous effect on St George. It's got to deflate them like you wouldn't believe, because they had plenty going for them. As
Wiki round the corner, Vainikolo down the right touchline, and Murphy can't get him. Tracy can't get him. Nobody can get him. Leslie Vainikolo. That looked like Billy Boston down the right flank. For you old timers, you know what I mean. Oh, he was tippy-toeing.
And have a look at the lead-up play on the inside. It's just a marvellous ball. Tremendous pass from Ruben Wiki. Lee Murphy comes across. Darren Tracy, who's got plenty of speed for a back row of chasers, he's just too strong for both of them. What a find this young player has been. Canberra, they were dead keen to get him. They actually swapped, I think, Quentin Pongia for him. They realised his talent a long time ago, and here's perfect illustration of it.
He's good, isn't he? Very, very good. Some poor defence once again for St George, just racing in, leaving the overlap. How do you leave overlap down the blind side? Anyway, they did it. And some ineffectual defence there, but put it all down to Vainikolo.
Well, I read in the paper today where there was some comparison between he and the all-black winger Jonah Lomu. But, I think it was Michael Hagan who said, "Don't put that on him yet, please." So David Furner from the same position, and he's missed this one. But another try for Canberra. 28 points to 14. He's big and he's plenty fast, Stephen.
Yeah, they went up the short side again, just overread there by Brunker. And how strong is this bloke? And unbelievable speed too. Murphy's no slouch in strength. He brushes him away. And Rodwell, I tell you what, he's blowing up in the back play, saying that he was held back, but Vanacolo goes over for the try.
Restart time. Suddenly the game, well, it's basically followed the same pattern as I was outlining earlier. Canberra getting to a nice lead, St George coming back to snap at their heels, and then Canberra extending.
Yeah, Ray, I've got to go back and say that, you know, what a crucial decision it was, that try awarded for Vanacolo previous to the one we just saw from him. And I think we should explain to viewers once again, despite the fact that Ruben Wiki did not get involved in the play, he didn't go to Brunker, the very fact he's in front of the kicker and inside the 10 means that no try should have been awarded. And quite possibly we still would have seen St George only trailing by 4 with plenty of time to go in this game.
He's lost that ball, and Stephen Clark's right on top of it. Peter, you've made the point very emphatically, and everybody in the box is in total agreement with you. I mean, the rule has been applied that many times in the past. I can't believe that it got through.
It's hard to understand how Mr. Yard got it wrong. It's really incredible. Anyway.
And then, of course, the folly of the red light becoming the green. It was like they semaphored correct weight, and then they said, no, hang on a second, there's a protest. Get their money back. Crazy stuff. Here's Fern. All we can do is stay with the action as Canberra widen the gap. And it's DeVico. And he's put down heavily there, DeVico. His head hit the ground. He's okay. McClendon dancing into it. Give you the President's Cup score in a moment, particularly for you St George people. There it is. Down 22-4. 35 metres out from the St George line. Tackle 5. Priddis, Stewart, Long, Clyde, shorter for Furner, and then a grubbing kick. He's looking for Vanacolo again, and it's Brunker there, but covered by Vanacolo. And now he's penalised Vanacolo for being inside the 10 in front of the kicker.
That's right. Now they've got one right.
This is a reenactment, really, of what we were talking about. Vanacolo in front of the kicker has to stay 10 metres away from the man playing at the ball. Felch. Penalty 6-5 Canberra. Custo. Tracy. Back on the positive though, of course, that second try of Vanacolo was great wing football.
And back to the first one as well, Ricky Stewart. Great kick over the top. Not easy to put a chip over when there's not much room to work with. Matthew Rodwell straightens play up, takes it inside Canberra territory. 4 tackles gone now. Mundine again to first receiver. Barton out on his own.
Mundine. Oh, fantastically spectacular stuff. And Bradley Clyde coming from nowhere shuts it down. Well, what about the athleticism of Mundine? Beautiful stuff.
It's Kyle Vanderkart for a minute.
Oh, I thought it was Moss Trooper.
Here it is again. It was Bartram, Mundine, up and over, comes down safely, horse and jockey both okay, and then able to unload. Oh, just so beautiful.
How good is he, and how good is he going to get? I'm not sure how old is he, 21, 22? And he's just got so much great football, and the fans who go to watch him, they're going to be pleasured for many, many years.
Stewart rolling it into touch.
And I do think the good thing is that he is now letting his ability speak for itself.
Here he is again.
Up and over.
What about the offload? Like that was probably more difficult than the hurdle. To get in a position to get one away. Good support play from Murphy. Came off the shoulder of Mullins. Bradley Clyde, who's had a storming game tonight. He really is back to his best. He started to look like a front row at one stage. He sort of put on a bit of beef, but looks like he's sort of trimmed off a little bit now, and he's playing great footy.
Incidentally, Mundine's 23, and you think you've got 10 good years ahead of him.
Murphy. Here he is again. Just the way he moves, it's graceful.
I actually saw a sign up in the crowd there saying Mundine, Lord of the Dance. Far from the mark, really.
What was his name? Stephen Flatley, I think.
Michael, I think.
His brother Michael was pretty good too.
6 more tackles, 40-metre line. St. George on the attack. Bartram into the back line, and then wide for Mundine. And a one-handed offload. Tracy, quick catch pass. Wagon then. Brunker now. And Brunker put down 38 away. 28-14. So 14 the buffer. Murphy on Canberra's 30-metre line. Custo. And then Rodwell. Oh, that was bad luck for Lenihan. It was a great exhibition by Rodwell. And Lenihan just couldn't quite get it from down around the knees, the way it seemed.
Good quick hands, but the pass did go forward anyway, according to Stephen Clark, and it did.
Take you to Leichhardt on Sunday at 4 o'clock if you'd like to join us. Tigers versus the Knights. Sunday at 4 from Leichhardt, when Paul Sirenen cracks the record of Gary Jack. It was his last game, I would imagine, at Leichhardt in doing so. Vainacola. Or is it the following week? Okay. He's just trying to build up the numbers there for Danny Monk. Don't spoil it, boys.
Well, the good thing is that Newcastle will have plenty of supporters there as well, so it'll be a big day for Ciro and the Tigers. Newcastle, of course, one of the 3 competition leaders at the moment.
Prittis, Croker, Stewart, and Kennedy. St. George, they've read that well. David Wade, the St. George coach. Stewart again, showing it, and then floating it up into the arms of Thurner. Thurner put down. Desperate defence there by Mundine. Prittis, Stewart to the air. The chase is on. Mullins got. Mullins ran into the arm of Mundine. The touch judges didn't do anything about it. I'm not so sure they needed to. It may well have been Mullins feigning the incident.
And the referee said to the Canberra players who were complaining about Mundine taking out Mullins, he said that he didn't see it. So if he didn't get a call from the touchies, he couldn't adjudicate.
Custo. Rodwell, Mundine. Taken by Furner. Furner. Process of lifting. Putting down gently. George's 22 is Cade. Custo, Parramatta bound. Add to the number 7s. McClendon. McNamara. That's the tackle. And coming from it. Hetherington. As a forward, Hetherington. Always looking to get that arm free and get the ball away. Nothing negative about his game anymore. This is Atkins. The more colourful hair displays. Croker. No, out on the full. Out on the full, touch judge has said. Turnover, end of the tackle count. What is going on here tonight? There's a few things frozen here by the look of things tonight. Tracy, Custo, Rodwell, away from the 40-metre line, their own end of the ground to the halfway Bartram. 20 metres in from the grandstand side of Bruce Stadium. Murphy. Simpson. Bartram. Mundine. In. Pearson, straight up the middle. Taken down by a Furner tackle on the 40-metre line. Canberra's into the ground. Rodwell. Putting a sprint on and Clyde Ridden. Snuffed him out. Clyde is hurt. So is Rodwell. Now, the ball straight down to Mullins, who doesn't lose sight of this one. Clyde's in a bit of trouble. Mullins on the carry back. "67 minutes gone." It's the incident where Brad Clyde cropped it in a 10 depart. Rodwell didn't come off all that easily either. Well, Nicola is giving Archie Brunker a hell of a time over there. In fact, he's giving more than Brunker a hell of a time. Took about 5 of them in red and white jumpers to round him up eventually. On the halfway line from Atkins to Stewart, and Clyde is with him. Clyde looking, McClendon, oh, he's been poleaxed by Wiki. Quick play, the ball will help. Ferner to the 20-metre line, and then back to Stewart, and across for Croker. Croker away from Tracy, now for Atkins. Atkins runs towards Brunker, gives it to Nicola, and he's put down. 16 away from St George's line on 5. Razzle-dazzle stuff from the Canberra team. McClendon, catch, inside pass, Wiki, and McClendon's knocked on. The end of the tackle count, he'll turn it over again.
Plenty of sides towards the top of the competition ladder who'll be watching Canberra with a fair degree of consternation, because they are playing great footy. Canberra, tremendous ball movement in the side, some good second phase play. Hetherington's been tremendous. We could have seen another try come there if McClendon and Wiki hadn't been both so desperate to get to the football from the Bradley Clyde pass.
Oh, now Brad Clyde has pulled Mundine back out of it, so the penalty goes where the ball landed to St George. Clyde just a little tap on the shoulder and
You're right.
apologises to Mundine. So the line finder. We'll see St George taking the tap. A very good kick for line. Just outside the Canberra 10-metre line, taken by Rodwell. Immediately for Custo, and then don't quite know why Hanari was jogging through as a decoy. He obviously wasn't going to take any part. Mundy. Now, Simpson, and offloading. Did it travel forward? It came off Custo's boot. Hanari has got it, and I wonder whether he might have been offside. But Rodwell now goes towards the try line, where it's wrapped up by Croker and Atkins. Played and to the right. Custo, Stewart's come up very quickly and smothered him away. Now, Hanari, taken by Clyde, passes for Custo to give to Bartram. Bartram away for Mundine. Mundine mesmerising the defence, and now Pearson gets a hold and then loses him. McClendon has a grab and he can't get him either, and Mundine will play the ball. 11 away. And the 5th tackle, Blacklock. Custo unloading for Tracy, and then St George with an overlap out there. They roll it in for Brunker to put it down. It looks like a try, but he will go for the video.
I think he's offside, Ray. I think he's a mile offside.
Same again, it was a very
Joel Kane has put a kick in, Peter is saying, and it did look this way, that Brunker was in front of the kicker.
Yeah, I agree. It did look that indeed. Sure why he just didn't pass it. It was some good play. Darren Tracy did well. That's a good ball as well from Wagon. Oh no, he was covered, so he puts the kick in. I don't know. He's about as offside as Ruben Wiki was before.
I think he's definitely offside.
You never know, they might let this one go through too.
I think he's definitely offside.
Oh, I agree. No doubt about it.
But, you know, after what's happened here tonight,
Could be a square up.
It's one thing I like about you. You're very subtle. Very subtle. 28-14.
Little Snorkzilla there, sitting on the fence there. Oh, hey, yeah!
I think he was offside, but I don't think he was a mile offside. Good work here. Darren Tracy, nice fingertip control. He created the overlap. dummy, little kick through.
Got there quick, didn't he?
He gets a try. From the first watching, I thought he was offside, and I still think he is, but I think it was a really line ball decision.
Well, Brunker has got himself a try. That's all that matters. That's what the history books tell us. Bartram will attempt conversion from the side. And he's got it away well. On line, length is there. Flags are up. Converted try, St George. 28-20. There are 10 minutes to go. 9 minutes to go as you come back. 28-20. And St George needing desperately a converted try to give them a real chance of pulling this one out of the fire. A game that they have trailed in all night. And they've had one very dusty decision go against them. They appear to have one go with them then. Rugby back for Bartram. Coming up quickly was Croker to make the tackle. Sunday on the Footy Show, the boys will be entertaining Malcolm Rooley and John Rebo. And the legend of league will be Max Quillage on Sunday, a segment that's going very, very well. This high ball again allowed to bounce, and the Saints have got it. We're still on the last tackle, may I remind you. Kennedy has got it for Canberra. And the Kennedy again asked to make a long run near the halfway line. Ricky.
Robbie Simpson and Ricky Stewart aren't the best of friends at the moment. Having a chat for the last 3 tackles ever since Simpson roughed Stewart up in a tackle, and the lead was touched Dusty, but plays continued. Clyde finds Critters, who loses the football, cleaned up.
And referee Stephen Clark has found a knock on. He's calling out some plays. He's had enough. Needs a chat.
Ricky.
Stewart and Simpson.
Listen, I don't know if you're taking the angry pills, you blokes, or not. Let's just cut the rubbish. Yeah, you just went on there for the full 6 end. You're having a gibber at each other. Cut it out, cut the rubbish. All that do is starts fights, all right? And then if you start a fight, then you guys are in trouble.
I did think that Simpson was a bit out of order here with the tackle.
He's still going.
Hang on, there it is
going.
He's feeding him like the ever-ready man.
That's right, the ever-ready batteries.
Well, David Waite will want to know why he wasn't too tired to stop the conversation.
40 metres out from their own line, the Dragons. Needing more than an argument at the moment. They need some points desperately. Hanari. 42 metres from Canberra's line. Mundy. Rodwell. Wagon. Nice hands, eventually getting it in. Mundine again offloading for Felch. And that brings 5. So what are they going to do? Mundine's boot. Not all that deep, and Mullins got up high that time. He's lost a couple of them down there tonight when working from the right-hand end. This is McNamara. 8 points to margin. Under 6 to go. Couldn't for Clyde. Pass from dummy half looked to be a shade forward. Now Here goes this number 15 again, Prittis, and then running it into touch.
Well, we saw a magnificent tackle 10 minutes ago by Bradley Clyde, a la Johnny Raper. This one from Wade Bartram. Leafed out of Ronnie Coote's book, this one. And went for the sprint down the blind side. Prittis, beautiful stuff. Hitting around the hips and sliding down around the ankles.
Next Friday night, we go to Melbourne again. Weekender in the south for Canberra versus Melbourne. Next Friday night, the last of the competition rounds, of course. The regular rounds coming to an end next weekend. Lovely to go back to Melbourne again and save you people from Canberra the problem of making the trip. And 40-metre line.
Well, there's a forward pass.
Clarkus found a forward pass. Just wish when we do go to Melbourne they would give us an expense account with the blackjack at Crown Casino. That would help a little bit.
Trainer. Keep it in, Wayne. Keep it in, Wayne.
McClendon.
That's one. Here it is, Ben. Hold in. Wait, go.
DeVico. Some very serious worries about this man earlier in the night. Thought for a moment we were going to see the Jordan frame come out, but thankfully he walked off and then he walked back on again very quickly. Ferner. Steve Roach will have the man of the match for McDonald's at the end of the telecast. Peter and Paul will make their decision, and then in the summary, Stephen for McDonald's will talk to our man of the match. Ricky Stewart, celebrating a milestone in his career tonight. It just seems a tragedy that he's not going to finish his career in green and white. As Ferner puts a kick in that he won't be happy with, Hanari was able to pick it up, and now Kane makes a long run outside the 30, almost to the 40-metre line for St George. Wagon. Still up with a couple of tries over there, making the tackle. Vainikolo. Tracy, oh my goodness. He was lucky he got that in and then got his head out of the road before DeVico came in to make the tackle.
St George keeping the ball alive here in the closing moments, and what a weekend for the Red and Whites. Next week will be our Sunday game, of course, up against the Eels. And really, it could be their season depending on that, depending, of course, what happens with Manly and Canterbury.
Beautiful pass, finding Blacklock. Now Murphy. Rodwell putting it into the sky. Oh, Clyde had a catch on it. It went straight through to the keeper. Tracy's away for the corner. Brunker's in there to score number 2. A try in the dying seconds to St George. They won't take long to take this conversion.
And a good finish for St George. And I'll tell you what, you go back to that try that was given to Canberra in the second half, and St George could have nearly won this game. Canberra had a lot of trouble under the high ball tonight. Tracy nearly could have got there on his own. Did the right thing, giving it to Archie Brunker over in the corner. And I'll tell you what, this, I know they'll probably get beaten here, but this game will stand them in good stead for that crunch match next Sunday against Parramatta. But really, it's been a good performance by some of these kids and some of the older heads like Corey Pearson, Wayne Bartram, who played really, really well.
There are enough seconds on the board to turn that around into a non-crunch match, by the way. And the kick just wide. So, he wets the whistle, Laurie, and a little breath of relief there. 28-24. Just under a couple of minutes to go. Brad, he put out a big marquee looking to catch it, but it went straight through. And Tracy, I think, could have nearly scored himself. Brunker got it. So what is the official time? Find great difficulty at Bruce Stadium keeping up with times and scores. You sit up in the clouds and you can't see because of the overhanging awning from the grandstand. I'm told 60 seconds to go. As Canberra give it back to St George. Brunker, 2 tries for him tonight. Atkins up in his face very quickly.
Oh, you're right, mate. There's plenty of things can happen over the next even 24 hours. I mean, if Melbourne beat Canterbury, St George will make the top 10. If Illawarra beat Cronulla, Saints are sweeping the top 10. Now a penalty goes to St George.
I wonder if they're going to have time to get to the other end and maybe put a bomb up for an enormous finish. How far can Anthony Mundine find here? It's a pretty good kick.
Oh, gee. Tell you what, it was a big jump by McNamara, and he's got a touch on it.
Scrum there, Floyd.
So it will put a scrum down, and St George with the loose head and feed.
That will take away a couple of tackles from them.
Come on.
Matter of seconds remaining.
Because you're taking your time. You're not going to waste
You
time.
can do what McNamara did, provided you move the ground from the field of play. Here they are, St George then. Final throw of the dice. Mundine puts a kick in. I thought Brunker might have been in front of him. It's been towed over the sideline by Bonicolo. And by the sound of the crowd, the sirens have sounded. It has. And there are some relieved Canberra players there. One of their stars was Hetherington. He played great rugby tonight. So did Croker, Stewart, a number of stars. 28 to 24 in a controversial game.